But now I've got to defend Kevin for a moment.
Oh boy.
Like I said, I don't like everything Kevin does. But like if you were ranking comedians, hey, maybe a show should do that sometime. But if you were ranking comedians, Kevin Brennan would be, well, I don't consider Stuttering John a comedian. So Kevin Brennan would be infinitely higher than Stuttering John. And like in the comedy community, here are two things that I've heard. And Stuttering John can say that I'm lying if he wants. But here are things I've heard on various podcasts. When Stuttering John's name comes up with guys who are well known in stand-up, I have heard them say, "Oh, I didn't realize Stuttering John was a comedian." That's how the word dabbler came to be. Is Chrissy Mayer didn't know Stuttering John was a comic. But I've heard the Legion of Skanks talk about this, Rich Voss. There are people that I've heard say, "Oh, I didn't realize," not insultingly, they have no reason to bash this man. I didn't realize this guy did stand-up. Kevin, they might say he's an asshole, but they always couch it with, but he's a very funny guy. And he's a good comedians respect Kevin as a comedian. They might think he's an asshole, but like he does have respect in the business to some extent. So now Stuttering John is pretending to have a feud with Kevin Brennan. I'm sure probably by the time I'm saying this, but definitely by the time you're watching it, I'm sure John's already been back on Kevin's show. But indulge me for a moment. And let's pretend this beef was real with Stuttering John and Kevin Brennan.
Don't cross the Duke, but some people are crossing the Duke. And unlike what fucking Pinky says with his fucking whiny fucking voice,
nice.
That 63-year-old old man freak.
If I can give John a little advice here, I would say when you are turning, I believe John turns 59 this year. I would say maybe when you're that age, don't go with the old man route.
You can tell you're old when your insult is, "What's up, freak?
You old man freak." He was a senior when you were a freshman, John. Let's not get too crazy here.
This guy's a weenie.
He's an old man. This would be like John saying, "And this guy's a drunk and a has-been." Maybe think of some things that they can't just immediately throw back at you, John.
Oh, I'm sitting there at the gym, getting done with my workout. And I go, oh, Brennan's on. Let me hear my old pal Brennan.
Now, I hope it all went well, John.
Sounds like it.
You guys know I have been nothing but supportive of Mr. Brennan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, except for the times that John has gone after him and said, "I'm not speaking to him anymore," and that he's a piece of shit and he's not as funny as his brother. Like all the things that everyone says about Kevin, John has said when he's angry at him, but then is like, "I really like Kev" at other times. So that's supportive, I guess.
I always compliment him.
Except when you don't.
I always say, he is good at what he does. I don't put him down. I said he's the only one who's actually had an entertainment career other than me in the Dabbleverse.
It'd be great if we just stopped there. He and I are the two men that have had an entertainment career. But John, the world is changing. I don't like. I asked. I don't know. I talked to Tukey about coming on at some point soon. I'm gonna have to ask him. Like, do you have aspirations of starring in your own movie? Like, is that what Tukey and Cardiff want? Or are they just guys fucking around on YouTube because it's fun to do a podcast?
I want to see that movie.
Like, that would be a great movie. But it's weird to, like, if you got an argument with someone on the bus, John, would you go, "Oh, yeah, well, I've had an entertainment career and you haven't"? No one's arguing. No one's saying, like, hey, you weren't on the Stern Show, then you would have an argument. Hey, John, you never announced for the Tonight Show. Then he could very easily go, as a matter of fact, I did. You're incorrect. But he's saying, oh, yeah? Well, you've never acted in film or television. Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't see what that has to do with you being a deadbeat dad and a drunk. I don't understand the equivalency.
And very complimentary, wouldn't you say? I veered away from attacking Pinky.
Seems it.
But this guy...
Oh, that's a big thing with John. If John compliments you, then you are indebted to him for life. You can never say anything he's doing is wrong or silly or dumb. You have to only compliment him now because he was so nice as to say, like, Kevin does an okay job.
He's pretty meh.
John's word is worth... It's invaluable. I can't describe what it's worth, quite frankly. So when John gives you a compliment, I mean, that will pay itself off 10 million-fold, probably. You can walk into Netflix and hand them a piece of paper, say, slap it on the desk. This is Stuttering John's compliment to me. He said I do a fine show. Money, please.
You better frame that.
Not shut up. He doesn't know who his friends are, and he fucking burns bridges. Remember,
Oh my
this
God.
is old.
Wow.
The title of his show being his undoing.
Friends are, and he fucking burns bridges. Remember, that was his old show, Burning Bridges. Well, he just burned this one.
It's like if you were going after Gordon Ramsay and this guy creates a hell in his kitchen. Like, yeah, that's kind of the idea.
This kitchen's a nightmare. Here he's talking about fame.
Okay, yeah, so this is a big thing in John's, like, was it's hard to even say. Was Stuttering John famous? Yeah, I guess he was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. I would qualify
But
that.
like, not Tom Hanks.
I don't know if people necessarily knew what he looked like, but
Oh, that's true too. He was on the E Show. Yes, because of the E Show they did.
oh yeah.
Yeah, they were on TV. So yeah, like Stuttering John was famous, but I don't know if it was a level of fame that is worth throwing in people's face in 2024. So
No, definitely not.
So let's hear John do just that.
And someone super chats, FSJ. And then Kevin does a little diatribe on me. Uncalled for. Provoked.
Well, except for the provoking that someone did.
You only stabbed him in the side with a knife.
He was someone said "fuck Stuttering John," and then totally unprovoked, Kevin agrees with the guy. John, I don't think you know what being provoked is. He was actually literally provoked.
He was paid to be provoked.
Someone said "fuck Stuttering John" to him, and he contributed to the conversation.
Guy said SJ, and then Kevin goes, "Well, Stuttering John is the least of all these losers in the Dabbleverse," which is really a backhanded compliment. Because,
John,
I don't think so.
you should take that as a massive compliment. John, look at how you're viewed. The idea that people think there are bigger losers than you is a masterful win on your part. There's a subreddit where for years people have been mocking you and calling you a deadbeat, delusional, has-been, unfunny, fat, short loser. Someone for once said, hey, you think Stuttering John's a loser? Look at some of these other people. And John's like, oh, you too, Kevin. You've broken my heart.
Fredo kisses him.
The least of all these losers. So in other words, he's calling me a loser. Now, Kevin.
Hey, John, I don't know. You're divorced. Your kids don't talk to you. You live in a one-bedroom apartment with fucking cat hair all over the couch. You brag about making $3,000 a month or whatever you said you make. Like, I'm not passing judgment, but you're kind of making me. And all signs point to kind of a loser. What do you want from people?
Let me tell you something. If you look at our careers and you look at our credits, next to me, you're a loser. And that's a fact, Jack.
But John, when's the last time you did something?
Anything.
Like, here's something I'd be curious to know. If you're watching this and you're someone that corresponds with John or super chats or anything, try and get this question across to him and let me know his answer, because I'd be very curious. Is John aware of the term has been? And does he think it's like a slur? Like something does he think it's, equivalent to the N-word? Like we should never say has been.
I think so.
Or like, is there anyone that John would qualify as a has been or as washed up?
George Clooney.
For sure, yeah. But like, is there anyone that John puts in that category? Because if so, I would say someone whose last claim to fame is 10 years ago, and it's the Tonight Show that statistically no one knows you were on. Like people know Stuttering, even when he has guests on, or people that like wash his balls. They're like, John, I loved you on the Stern Show. People don't remember his time on the Tonight Show. And I'm not saying that's his fault even. I'm saying the announcer turned writer from Jay Leno's Tonight Show just didn't resonate with a lot of people. I'm sure it paid him very well. I'm sure it was, great for his career, and he got to meet a lot of people and possibly had some opportunities in front of him because of it. That's terrific. What I'm saying is if you went out on the street, any demographic, age, race, gender, whatever, statistically, if you polled everyone on the planet or everyone in America, no one would know you from the Tonight Show. So the last thing that people remember you for, and listen, if I had a nickel for every time I ran into someone who was obsessed with the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship. But the backroom guys don't get a lot of credit for that, The writers, believe it or not, Craig, the writers of the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship,
Yeah.
those are the unsung heroes. They don't get the glitz and glamour of the people that were on camera for the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship.
That seems fair.
I'm sure this has been pointed out before, but Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship sounds like a joke that would have been in like Dodgeball when they're promoting ESPN 8.
The Ocho.
Yeah, like right after the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship. And John's like, yeah, I was a writer for that. A writer for what? What did you write? Ouch!
My arm snapped in half. Good job, John.
But anyways, my point is, the last thing that people remember John doing, which it's awesome. It's very cool, John, that you were on the Tonight Show. That's great. And you did a lot of very funny things on that show. You were part of a lot of funny bits. You had a lot of great moments. That was, however, 20 years ago that you left. The most memorable moments are probably more like 30 years ago. So what is a has-been to you, John? And listen, I have no notoriety, certainly less than Stuttering John has. So if I don't do anything for the next 20 years, I'll have to come to the same realization about myself, And I haven't reached the heights of a Stuttering John. But my point is, if you don't do anything other than argue with Lady K and Shuley and Kevin Brennan on the internet, why are people wrong for saying you're washed up? That's what I don't get. And that's what I want to ask to Stuttering John.
So everyone get $600 so you can super chat that whole thing.
He'll do it for $2, but
It's true.
You have not accomplished what I have accomplished. If you walk down the street and you say, you know who Kevin Brennan is, they'll say, who? Or they'll say,
well, yeah, obviously. They'll say, who are you? You're just walking down the street. Kevin Brennan! Ah! Why are you yelling that at me?
See, I don't know why he's doing this, but if you were to walk through like New York and say, do you know who Stuttering John is? I feel like That would get a lot of positive response.
Yeah, men over 45, white men over 45. You have a pretty good shot, definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. But here's the thing: is like again, straw man argument from these guys. Kevin's not claiming to be really famous.
That's true.
For all Kevin's faults, he's not like, oh, I'm super famous. Now he is doing weird things like, Shuli's getting no buzz as opposed to Misery Loves Company. But
Neil, none of them are going to know who the fuck you are. You walk down the street and you say, you know who Stuttering John is? Guaranteed.
Get away from me.
50% of the people.
Now, do you agree with that, Craig? Guaranteed?
No.
What percentage did he give that? Go back a little bit.
50.
50% of people? Just any age, any demographic?
I think we like tightened it up.
Oh, I know Stuttering John. What's that, Sonny? Oh, of course, Stuttering John. My favorite comedian. Just everybody knows Stuttering John walking down the street.
I feel like Taylor Swift would be more 50%.
Yeah, well, that's closer to 100, sure. So John's saying he's half of Taylor Swift, which is fine.
Yeah.
Guaranteed at least 50% of the people.
At least.
Because I've done groundbreaking shit, Kevin.
Whoa.
Groundbreaking.
Whoa.
But he walked on it.
Whoa. Oh, my God. Do you feel that? Someone asked Ringo Starr what he did with the money. Oh, God. The earth is crumbling underneath me. John, that's where you talk yourself into trouble. A little humility. If you were, John, do you understand how much, how many more flies with the honey you would get if you said, "Hey, listen, I did a few things on the Howard Stern show. Maybe people didn't love it, whatever." People would hear that and say, "John, you were hilarious on Stern." But now you're putting people in the position of having to respond to you saying, "I did groundbreaking shit." John, yes, Ted Williams if he farted in the catcher's face. It's not, I don't know. I think the ground was still intact.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
But he didn't even write them.
That's true.
It's fucking Fred and Jackie wrote the questions. I wrote some of them. I know, John, I'm sure you did.
That's why you got like 30-year-olds like Alex Stein who revere me.
Yes,
what?
I'm sure
Because
Alex Stein has a Stuttering John poster on his wall.
No, I'm the Duke.
But John, listen. If I was, I'm an Opie and Anthony fan, as you know, Craig.
Mm-hmm.
If I was out and about and saw Travis Teft in the Opie and Anthony show, and someone said, "Hey, that's former Opie and Anthony producer, current Jim and Sam producer, Travis Teft," I go, "Hey, Trav Dog," and I'd say, "That's pretty cool. I just saw Travis Teft out on the street." I don't know if that means I revere the man.
You're revered.
Like just liking someone. Now, Alex Stein probably does revere Howard Stern, or what Howard Stern used to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of similarities there, actually. So that makes sense. Revering Stuttering John, that's just not the case, John. I'm sorry. A little humility is all.
Now we have memory.
Oh, well, this is good because when John is clearly in the wrong, and they say, "Hey, John, why did you challenge Blind Mike to an IQ test?" And then when he said, "Okay, I'm in," you backed out immediately. I don't remember that. It's strange how John's mind works, because when it's other things, it's a steel trap up there.
Well, Kev, let's go through your list of lies while I destroy you on every fucking stupid thing you said.
Does he? I have a feeling, by the way, that he has like notes off camera. He's been looking off camera this entire time.
Oh, you're a cute kid, Craig.
What?
No, John's never done any work for his show ever once.
No. Notes like what to say. Like
Nope, you're wrong. Absolutely
keeps
not.
looking off to the right and then going, "I'm gonna tell you what."
Well, you're confusing prep work with just completely not knowing where he's going next.
Right. Okay.
He's looking, praying that Howard will be there and say, "Hey, John, just say this.
Yes.
Hey, buddy, it's like the old days. Here's what you say when you meet Morton Downey."
Well, Kev, let's go through your list of lies while I destroy you on every fucking stupid thing you said. He says, all these losers make these threats and everything, and they don't do anything.
Wow, that's some tough talk. I gotta say, maybe I should keep my fucking mouth shut. I don't want that sort of venom spewed at me.
He gets so mad in this at this shit.
John, he says he's going to go to Vegas. He didn't go. Kevin. Stuttering John was supposed to, do shit in Atlanta.
Yeah, I take back what I said. He doesn't have anything.
Boy, what a pristine memory that is. Hey, all these people saying Stuttering John, he's a son of a gun, that guy.
City ain't hitting. While he was hanging out with that Vince the lawyer guy. Broadcasting. Kevin, I remember everything. I'm not like you.
Yeah, it feels like I was there, John. You did a really good job.
Something called retention. You understand?
Something.
I fucking remember everything. I remember everything you were saying.
Hey, John, one of your kids' birthdays.
That's how well my memory works. And that fucking Pinky sniping me now. He's sniping the Duke.
Oh, John has also given himself this nickname that he's taken way too seriously.
I've put that one together.
Hey, John, you're aware there's no title, like there's no prestige with that title, right?
None.
You just said another D word. You just made it alliteration. That doesn't mean you're actually a Duke. You weren't knighted.
Dunce of the Dabbleverse, maybe.
I'm the Duke. Now it's very sad to watch. He plays this clip at the beginning of his show. I don't know what movie it's from, but it's someone going.
I believe
hey,
it was Warriors.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right. He's going, don't mess with the Duke. You don't want to mess with the Duke. And Stuttering John is like, oh, now you're all shaking in your boots, aren't you? No, you just took it's like if I found someone, talking, if there's a movie where someone's named Mike and I just played that clip. Now I'm an imposing figure, aren't I? No, it's just you found a movie clip.
All right.
Oh, We don't want to get struck.
He played the intro again in the middle of this.
Oh, well, that you know why that is.
He reset.
No. Kevin was sniping him.
Oh,
So Kevin heard that John was talking about him. So he goes, oh, let's see what John's saying. And Stuttering John goes, well, right into my web. I will play this copyrighted music so that on the show you delete in an hour, I'll be able to make a copyright claim.
Timestamp. Get me the goddamn timestamp and I'll strike this prick now.
Keep in mind, by the way, this prick he's talking about is a guy he's going to say, Kev, I really love you, to his face whenever Kevin has him on again next.
Yeah.
This fucking guy. So then he's like, oh, John doesn't do anything. He was right next to me when I called Rocco out and said to Rocco, let's go outside. What, does he not remember?
For those of you like Craig that may be a little confused, John was going to fight Tukey, the puppet, in Atlantic City.
Yes, I remember him and who's this Quadfather guy? He's got the weirdest face I've ever seen on a human.
Oh, you'd love him. He's a member of the Proud Boys, I believe.
Is he?
Yeah.
Why is he on John's show?
Because here's why. He's a guy that John had on at some point, and Quadfather used to make fun of John, but he realized he would stay on John's show longer if, literally every time John speaks, Quadfather goes, "Wow, amazing point, John. Yep, you stuck it to all these losers."
Okay.
So John likes having that around, and so he has Quadfather on.
What up? How you doing today, John?
I'm busy shitting on Brennan, so hold on a second. So he says, Quad, oh, John said he was going to do something in Atlantic City, but he didn't do anything. Is he not paying attention? Does he not?
Hold on. I want to see this truly insane ranting again. But imagine, like, why bring Quadfather on?
I
Why
don't
bring
know.
Why bring a guest on mid rant and then just go, "Shut up"?
And I can tell Quadfather's been through this before because he goes, "I'm ranting," and he doesn't even speak. He just nods his head like, "Yes."
Oh yeah, he knows the drill. He's a good boy.
I got you.
He knows the drill.
Quad,
Let me hear this insane. Now again, this is a man responding to someone who had the audacity to suggest that John was perhaps a little unhinged. Yeah, John's a bit nutty. John's a bit of a loser. John's a bit of a creep. You when you see this clip, you're gonna say, "This guy, this cool cat, this guy couldn't be a loser."
he says, Quad, oh, John said he was going to do something in Atlantic City, but he didn't do anything. Is he not paying attention? Does he not remember anything? Did he not watch the billion videos of me calling out Fatty Patty, tell him to come outside and fucking take me on?
Ah, yes.
Is he referring to Atlantic City there as well?
Yeah, that was a classic rumble.
Yeah, I remember when he was like, security.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it was a true showdown. You know what I would like? I got another super chat for you guys. Get your pens and paper out.
This is just plankton withdrawal.
Yes.
I'm not getting anything.
I would like John to do a breakdown of his own show. Like, I would like John to react to moments like that and genuinely see what he thinks about them.
Yeah, I'm pretty awesome.
Because I always wanted to do this when I was a kid, and I never did, but like when my mom would kind of like go crazy and scream at me for what I felt like was no reason, I was always like, it'd be great if I could record her and show her, you might just be having one of these, ladies' days that I hear about, because it sounds nutty what you're doing. That's an experiment I would like to do with John, where I would like John to review his own show and see what he thinks about it. Now, ultimately, I know what would happen is John would say, "Oh, I'm being hilarious right there,"
I'm so fucking funny.
or "I'm sticking it to all these losers that are trashing me in this Dabbleverse." It would be one of those two, most likely. Either that he's being hilarious or he's fighting back. I never drew first blood.
He just goes Rambo.
But he says that daily, probably.
Yeah. Oh, God.
But I would like to see John, like, lucidly, if that's possible, evaluate himself and see what see if there's anything. If John can for a moment relate to us. You know what I mean? Like, and by us I mean the people that make fun of John. Does John think there's anything worth mocking? Or does he think it's all completely insane? Like, we're all having this mass psychosis. We all think that John is crazy and funny to make fun of, but we're all wrong. Like, is that possible?
I think so.
He's saying that I just bullshit. Really, Kev? Really?
Let's see into that one.
This is like me. This is like if someone broke down my show and was like, he rambles on to, we get it, Mike. You think these guys had influence in comedy back in the day. This is like if I went, "Oh, you really think I do that? You think I repeat myself on how innovative this guy was over and over again? How dare you?" It's like, yeah, no, John, some of us have flaws, and sometimes you have to realize them,
No, he's a goody two shoes, left leaning. I get along with everybody. What's the problem?
Well, that's my favorite thing. I haven't heard him do it lately, but my favorite thing is when he's like, they're all after me because I'm a Trump supporter. I mean a Trump hater, rather. Trump hater, I'm sorry.
You fucking cocksucker, bone-smoking, faggot, homo piece of shit.
Oh, John.
You know, it's weird. We've never gotten a copyright claim for playing that. I say the C word once, and all of a sudden.
Oh, I know. That was 90 minutes in.
Was that rectified, or was it still...
I did not check, honestly. Let me look. I
That's
can look.
okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
I'll look later. I'm
Yeah.
curious, because that's never happened.
Yeah, for those that don't know what we're talking about, last week's episode was flagged because we said a naughty word. A word that Kevin's probably not afraid to say.
You know what's very funny about that, by the way?
What?
I was in the process of disputing it, and it says you can't say words like F star star star. Like it said
Well,
that.
how am I going to know what it is?
And then it said N star star star.
Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
was like, Jesus, you too.
You know what's funny? I ordered, I mentioned this on KMS today. I've ordered a bunch of albums, on like old comedy albums.
Yeah.
And one that I ordered was, it's titled Richard Pryor, That N-Word's Crazy.
Yeah. You got vinyls?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But it just says it, like, on my phone. And I'm like, am I going to get in trouble for this? Is YouTube going to take everything away from me?
Probably, yeah. Now we're at Vegas.
Okay, so I mentioned this earlier. You remember how you remember how last week we talked about John? I don't know how well you remember it. John literally said, he called it Hunchbackamania, and said, I'm going to pay, he suggested Patrick Melton and Took. He said Rocco Burrow is what he said. I'm going to pay those guys a visit. Okay, so this is John now. When people call him out and say, John, you don't follow through on things, this is John's response.
So then he said, well, I didn't go to Vegas like I said I was going to go. Quad, haven't I said I'm not going to Hackamania? But I am.
Yeah, always. You said you were going to Vegas. You never said you were going to Hackamania, but yeah, you said you were going to Vegas to see some people. That's all you
You see what I mean, by the way? That's Quadfather's role, is to just be like, John, everything you said is 100% accurate.
Seems fun.
I'm going to Vegas, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, real soon now.
Yet. Huh?
Real soon now, right?
Oh, I'm going to fucking roll up, and hold my fucking a speaker like fucking John Cusack and say anything. Say, come on out, fatty patty. Bring that hunchback out, will ya? The stuttering Duke is here.
Okay.
So John's saying, I said I was going to go to Vegas. I didn't say when. And it's like, John, so now we're having an argument with a toddler. You know, I said I would eat my vegetables. I didn't say I would eat them today. It's like, okay, God.
Do we know when he's going?
He's not going. What are you, nuts?
Next week.
So he's now insinuating that he's going to Patrick Milton's house.
Oh, good.
That's never going to happen.
This is the last clip here. It's a lawsuit.
Yeah, so this is where so I guess Kevin, how dare you, Kevin? Kevin said John's never going to sue anyone. And this is where John really sticks it to him and says, oh, yeah, pal.
So he goes, and then Kevin goes, he goes, oh, and John, you know, he says he's going to sue everybody, but he doesn't. Kevin, come here. I sued Sharon Stone, and I settled out of court for 30 G's. I don't sue anybody, do I? I sued Sirius XM and actually got to the appellate court.
It was thrown out with prejudice. You lost.
I sent a cease and desist to Lady K. I sent a cease and desist to Andrea Brown.
Hey, Craig, do me a favor.
Yep.
You have Carl's email, right?
Yep.
Or contacting someone. Just send him the word cease and desist right now.
All right, got it.
I want to see how it feels.
I'm
Just say that. I want to get on this list. I want to know I want to know the pure ecstasy. It feels like to tell Carl to both cease and desist.
Immediate action required.
Perfect.
To say for this.
And just write the words cease and desist. And that's it. He'll know. He'll know what it means. What's great is tonight he's going to be like, what is this?
Yeah, I sent it.
All right, good. Well, now you see how easy it is to tell Carl to knock it off. Now, why that's brought up when you're saying you sue people is beyond me.
I haven't talked to Carl since like the fourth time I couldn't do WATP. That's the first time in a long time I've reached out to him. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?"
You know, he's probably right now cutting stuff for WATS, so he's gonna be like, "What the hell?"
Oh, I sent the cease and desist to Ryan Sharman. Yeah, that's right, Kev. That's right.
I am a pussy.
And then
He's naming all the big stars. Ryan Sharman is a guy who moderated his YouTube chat. And I told him he better watch his words.
He better cut it out and keep up the free labor.
I've been so frivolous, Kevin. You have no idea.
And then they know that they should shut their mouths. So yes. Did I talk to my lawyer today? Yes. Yes, I did, Kev. So don't worry. The shitware should be worrying. So don't fucking accuse me of not doing shit. Because I do. You fucking numbnut freak.
He's good with insults. I'll give him that.
You numbnut freak.
So I wanted to, I had a lot I wanted to say about John there, but mainly I just wanted to play that so people could alert us when John is next friends with Kevin Brennan, because that's always fun to see. John, you don't think there's any merit to the fact that you say one thing and then do another immediately? Like, it's very exhausting, but as I always have to admit, it is fun to watch. So
it really is.
We'll keep an eye on that. Last thing I want to talk about real quick. Hopefully we can blow through these because I got to get out of here soon.